It takes a village to raise a child.
Everybody knows it's the Wednesday word.
Hi friends, E.C. Maltbia here, Senior Pastor of the True Holiness Saints Center in the city of Conway, Arkansas. And you know what time it is. It is Wednesday Word time. So what is our Wednesday Word for tonight? Our Wednesday Word is school. More specifically, I want to give you 3 academic habits that will help your child be successful in this upcoming school year. So we're just going to take a few moments tonight and talk about best practices to help your child reach their maximum potential. So the first academic habit is simply this: establish regular communication with your child's teacher. That's so important. As parents, we should take the initiative to reach out to our children's teachers and find out what's the appropriate channels for communication. So we need to reach out to the teachers and ask them, how do we need to communicate with one another? What works best for you? Would you prefer me to call you? Would you prefer me to text you? Would you prefer me to email you? But you need to find out what's the best way for you and the teacher to communicate. Secondly, when it comes to communication, what's the expectation of getting a response? Will you respond to me within an hour? Will you respond to me within 24 hours? Will you respond to me the next business day? But you need to know, how should I communicate? When should I expect a response? And then finally, you need to ask them, how much should I communicate? Should we talk with one another once a day, once a week, once a semester? How often do we need to communicate to ensure my child has good success? Let me give you our social media quote tonight. What is the social media quote? It's simply a thought or thesis that we encourage you to put out on all of your social media platforms for information and for inspiration. But here it is tonight. Don't wait for a bad report card to reach out. Don't wait till something goes wrong to reach out to the administration, to reach out to the teacher. Be proactive at the beginning of the year and establish a good relationship. Now, why does this matter so much, establishing a good relationship, Pastor Maltbia? Because when you open up a good communication between you and the school, it builds a community of accountability around your child. When you and the teacher begin to communicate openly and honestly about your child's behavior and their progress, it helps the child to stay on task. It also lets the child know when the parent and the teacher is on one accord that they can't pull any shenanigans. Proverbs 11:14 says it like this: for lack of guidance, a nation falls, but victory is won through many advisors. For lack of guidance, a nation falls, but through many advisors, we achieve victory. Here's what I know for sure. It takes a village to raise a child. And when the parent and the teacher are on the same page, we set a standard and we set up our children for good academic success. So the first academic health, or the first academic habit that we all need to follow, is establish a regular communication with our child's teacher. But then secondly tonight, after you get this channel of open communication, you also want to make sure, number 2, to establish a set bedtime for your child. K through 12, your child needs to have an established bedtime, an age-appropriate bedtime. Now, why is this important, Pastor Maltbia? Because proper rest is critical for a child to be able to both comprehend and focus on their schoolwork. Here's what I know for sure. A tired, sleep-deprived child struggles to absorb and retain critical information. As a parent, you ought to learn these 3 words: go to sleep. That means your child has to go to bed in enough time to get a reasonable amount of sleep so they can properly be alert the next day. So that means you might have to limit their screen time. This means at a certain time they might have to turn off or give you their smartphones. This means at a certain time they got to get off the game. Why? Because the truth of the matter is this: a child that doesn't get good sleep, no matter how bright they are, will never reach their full potential in the academic or classroom setting. Psalms 127:2 says it best: in vain you rise early and stay up late, toiling for food to eat. But here's what I want to get you to see: for God grants sleep to those he loves. The truth of the matter is this: it is a biblical principle that God provides sleep for his children. So if we want our children to excel in the classroom, number one, we've got to get an open and honest channel of communication between us and the teacher, between us and the school. Secondly, as parents, we've got to set some rules in our home so our children can get proper rest. And here's the last one, and I'm done for tonight. Teach age-appropriate time management skills to your child. Yeah. One of the most important things you can do for your child is to establish a designated time and space for their schoolwork. This is what I know for sure. K through 12, even college students for that matter, need structure in their life. They need a familiar routine. They need a quiet, consistent place to do their schoolwork, a quiet, consistent place to study for tests. This place has to be not only quiet, but it needs to be void from distractions. When you give them a designated time and space to do their schoolwork, a few things will happen. Number one, it will reduce their procrastination. Number two, it will strengthen their academic discipline. And thirdly, it helps them to stay focused on the task at hand. We've got to teach age-appropriate time management skills to our children. Moses prays this prayer in Psalms 90:12. Moses prays, Lord, teach us to number our days, that we may gain a heart of wisdom. In essence, Moses simply prays, Lord, teach us time management. Teach us how not to waste our days and moments and years. Now, this may look a little different depending on the age of your child. For instance, for the third grader, age-appropriate time management skills may look like this. It might mean for that third grader that they unpack their backpacks immediately after school before they do anything else. It might mean for the middle schooler that they get their clothes out the night before so they'll be ready for school. It might even mean for the high school student that they've got to finish all of their assignments and all of their chores before they get any screen time. But as parents, we've got to teach age-appropriate time management skills to our children. Why? Because we want them to be successful in the classroom. We want them to achieve their very best academically. This will be a great school year if we, the parents, establish a regular communication with the teachers, if we, the parents, establish a set bedtime, and if we, the parents, establish an age-appropriate time management skills for our kids. Until we speak again, my friends, be blessed.